guys, welcome back to NSDC. As promised, we got the Batmobile, specifically 89 slash the Tumbler Masterclass today. How are you guys doing?
Well, I'm definitely happy to be here.
We made it.
We finally made it to the Batman episode.
Yeah, I will say Sergio has been pushing me for the longest time to show the Batmobiles. Even with IG, it took. I'm on maybe a 1 year delay on stuff.
Everything else that comes to the door, he rips it, and then he's upset that someone else is buying it. But this, he's had for a long time. He had to. What you said? You had to dust off some.
Yeah, I did. You ain't lying. I had to dust off a bunch of shit. I put in work for this episode, guys. I almost say that. Let's drop some comments and some likes, even if the comments aren't friendly. I'm not even worried.
I mean, you've been putting a lot of work in lately. You know what I mean? The last video you did was popular one. Make sure y'all check out. Anyone listening. What do you call it? State of the hobby?
State of the hobby, bro.
State of the hobby. Interesting. I enjoyed it. There's some things I would like to clarify. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Elusive, all that being, a little messy.
My inner Vic.
A little stir in the pot.
I was channeling my inner Victor. Shout out to Victor because I started the State of the Hobby with him and Brian. So I have to get in my Victor back.
Yeah. Let's address elephant in the room.
What is it? What happened?
First, you already started with this psychological thing. First of all, I think it was a very successful episode. I would say I heard a lot of feedback. Just Nathan was in it, and I really like the balance. I told you personally, I like the balance that you three had there. Well, those three and you, right?
Yeah. There's
definitely things I disagreed with, but I enjoy the back and forth. I think, I like this format that you're getting, multiple people and talking about the hobby.
Yeah, and what it is really is that someone's going to resonate with someone's side of that coin, right?
Yes.
Some people are going to see Nathan's side and agree with him on certain points he made, and retrospects I felt was making the craziest points on that episode. He was making some great points about the whole. Speculators with the PMGs and all that. That was a great point. Brian put me down on the whole swap meet thing. He kind of he was a Debbie Downer on that one. He kind of made me feel bad about the whole situation.
I didn't understand it, but I don't want to get into those details. But it was interesting live. There was a specific comment that you said, and I just need to clarify because it was made public, so now we got to address it publicly. This whole top 10, right?
Yeah.
And look, I don't know Gingy like that.
I mean, I was on a podcast with him. I don't know him like that either.
Okay, well, you had some comments about pick and choose certain top 10.
But I think that's fair. I think everybody would agree with that, by the way.
Well, I don't know his criteria, right? So I can't even speak to that. And I don't know him personally. I've interacted with Gingy, but it's a long time ago. And then we mentioned, Shane and Card Drop top 10.
Yeah.
My only response to it is we definitely had a guidelines for it. We didn't pick and choose. And I know people saw Shane, but most of those times, and Elusive, I'm in there recording with him, or it's Will recording with him.
Yeah.
That was a team effort when we were doing those videos. And we, specifically wanted to have guidelines set and publicly, just transparent, because we didn't want to, get anyone to get it twisted. Those were all Terapeak sales top 10 of the week or of the month, and there was no favoritism. It was whatever made the list. Now, clearly, when you record that and then in order to edit it, no one was editing videos like that. Shout out to Will. It made Card Drop unique in that way. We're trying to do short format. We're trying to do professional edit videos. sometimes that takes time, and people are busy. So in between, getting it recorded and publishing it, sometimes sales went through and they made the top 10, but we couldn't go back and stick them in there.
Yeah.
That's all I want to address, because we don't want to have that reputation that we were trying to mislead people. Like, we took it seriously, and I know what you were saying.
Yeah, I was definitely a victim of that in between the edits.
Yeah. Look, until people understand how it's made, it's hard to judge, and we jump into speculation. But nah, bro, I wrote the description where we highlighted that, because people were leaving comments and trying to say we were being selective. Like, bro, this is as transparent as we can get. It's whatever made the top 10 that week or that time period, that month. So that's it. That's all I want to clear up.
And for sure. And I'll apologize to you guys if you guys, like you said, if you took it that way. For me, it was exactly what I mentioned. I could tell you, like you said, you can't speak on this, but I'll speak on this. When Ginger was doing his top 10, he was just being told what to put in there. He was definitely being influenced by big time buyers, by some influencers in the hobby. That shall remain nameless. But even during that time, I remember selling big cards, at least what's big to me. And I never made his top 10, which I didn't take it personal at the time, but I did take note of the fact that, oh, wow, this guy's doing top 10s, but my sales never happened to come up on his. Like, he never, I mean, you already know how that crew kind of went. They never wanted to give me any kind of light, which is fine. Everything happens for a reason. And then when Shane started doing that, I personally felt, from what I saw before I knew how you guys were taking care of those sales, it felt like it was mainly MCU heavy. That's what it felt like. Maybe there was one episode that I saw that it kind of stuck with me. That could have been it. Yeah. And then there was two sales. And then after we had a conversation, after we did an episode that's going to drop sometime soon as well. Shout out to Hobby Hangout, True Blue. Something that came to mind when you brought that up was like, oh, you know what? And I looked that up. And one of the sales was on eBay that I didn't make it. But the other one that I was referring to was a private sale. So, of course, I'm not going to put a private sale up. And
no, those were all public. eBay, Therapy got paid through, because, again, we couldn't, we with the exception of lots, we didn't put lots in there because it would get complicated when you have 50 cards. We're trying to go after single card sales, and not private sales or anything in the group. We couldn't put in there because you have to get it's private for a reason. Like, we can't put that out there.
But that's another good point that retrospects make, man. And just to end it with that, but you're right. Like, those weren't included, but that is what's kind of slowing down our hobby from growing. Is that there's so many transactions on an everyday basis privately, but no one shares those, and some for good reason. And I know it's a private thing, so obviously either the seller or the buyer has, well, they both do, but usually it's one of them that don't want that information released. And usually, if we're honest, on the buyer side, they don't want the information released because either they're still trying to complete a set and they don't want people knowing and taking advantage of how much they're willing to pay, right? And on the seller side,
or they plan on flipping it and they don't want people to know what they pay for it.
Correct. And on the seller side, the only thing I could think of is they have multiples on that item, and they want the ability to sell another one publicly for a higher comp than they did privately.
Yep. So, that happens a lot. So.
I think that part of the problem in both of these situations is that no matter what you do, like if you mention anything top 10 comic, top 10 card sales, top 10 whatever, there's always going to be some kind of criticism and critique into what's going on. And obviously, like the card drop, all that good stuff. Like it takes a lot of work to do that. Like it doesn't just magically appear. And obviously, you can't stay to the second up to date. So there's always going to be critics, and if you're giving out you're giving out bias, so it is tough. 'Cause in the Marvel realm, there's a lot of private stuff going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I mentioned this to Doom before, but even before the card drop did the top 10, right around when Genji stopped doing it, I thought about doing like sales, but not specifically top 10. I always wanted to do like steals of the week, right? Like I would tell you, hey, I want to do I think these cards were one for way under, But even to your point, Sergio, like of course, even if I ever do that, and I think I will just to see what kind of reception it gets, I'll just open up Terapeak and scroll down, and I'm not gonna go like top 10, top 20. I'm just gonna scroll down until something catches my eye, and then I'll discuss it. But point being is, I'm for sure gonna have a bias towards it because I'm gonna be focusing on cards that I enjoy from sets that I enjoy, because again, it's my time that I'm putting into these videos. So if I'm going to be spending my time, I want to make sure I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm not going to be talking about sets that I don't, I'm not going to be talking about Donruss, that's for sure, because it's just not a set that I enjoy. So
yeah, it's a different way of doing this. And shout out to I forget the name, the YouTuber, but it's a comic book YouTuber. Let me look up his name real quick because I do want to get it correct.
So does Aoki's purchase make the list or no?
What did he purchase?
What was it? It was like a SP
out of 50 refractor Wolverine, and that went for over 14,000 from the new tops.
I don't cover tops.
If you look at the if you look at like the sale, it's like the other bidder has like a 2 feedback, magically. And he's just like, it's a little funky.
It seems like everything's on the up and up.
Yeah.
It's definitely the talk of the town, when something like that happens. It's a big sell. And look, I've heard people saying that there's a lot of shilling on eBay for this new Topps Chrome, like auctions and stuff. Again, with anything, people just do your homework, be careful. Like, it's fleecing season anytime a new product comes out. So just, but
like I understand he's got money, but like he's got to try to find a way to like, get a hold of that person. Like, the money should be able to track this dude down. You dox the dude, you're like, all right, listen, here's this cash,
We don't know the purpose. Like, we could break in 3 different angles, and there's a reason why they go that high, or there's a reason why they shouldn't go that high. Like, bro, we don't know what's at play.
This sounds like the conspiracy theory episode from the other day.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways it could be.
We're back at it again.
Well, I think we might have mentioned this on True Blue's channel. I don't know if it was at the after chat, but that's what I was saying. I was like, hey, it could be the fact that he has a lot of money, he wants to bless collectors, or he wants to set high comps. But it's definitely something.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, it's a lot. For sure.
And he bought a Spider-Man too as well, no?
I don't know. I haven't really kept up to date on that.
I think he bought a Spider-Man as well. I might be wrong, but I think he did.
What's the account that keeps up to date on that? Like, I know there's like one.
I think it's like the is it 723 or 732 collection, the Baby Groot.
And he used to go by Intrinsic, but he always has the Baby Groot as his little icon.
So,
and he's been kind of trolling, but I never thought about it the other way, where it's like maybe they want to run it up, which, I mean, doesn't make sense, but it makes sense for like advertising and promotion and stuff like that. But
you never know the intent with these sales. It could be 3 different scenarios. 5 different scenarios.
That guy, though, moving on from Aoki, though, but going to that guy you guys were mentioning, the Baby Groot, he's always been interesting to me because it seems like he's like anti-Marvel cards being popular. I've always got that vibe because but
he likes them at the same time.
But even when like the sales were low, you never heard from him. But as soon as like they cross a certain threshold, all of a sudden his bat signal turns on and he's back at it again.
I feel like that's I feel like you're describing most of the hobby, though.
Yeah,
and most of the hobby, just whenever there's a big sale, like we all start to like, what's going on? Like, looking. And I don't know.
But I mean, we send you the stories. We send you the stories, though. This guy is like,
I mean, his has extra spice. If you want to go get the gossip, go follow that guy for sure.
Yeah, there's
a lot going out.
That's an interesting take for sure.
But to that, the YouTuber I want to shout out, Automatic Comics, and he does a similar thing where he just checks sales of either heritage auctions, and he just highlights a couple and he breaks down. That's a cool type of video idea, right? It's kind of like what you're talking about. You just scroll and you see something interesting, and it's also a good way to I mean, if we're being honest, this is how we find things sometimes. Just things selling, like, I've never seen this. Let's dig a little deeper. And yeah. I thought about doing something similar with DC cards, because there's not a lot of information out there. Maybe we'll have to do a joint one, dog.
But you
Yeah,
know,
well,
even with that, like I think the most interesting part of like what you guys like said, mentioned about it is like, don't make it just the top sales of just the
No,
cards, right? Because then here
just
comes like the chatter, like, but also like the inclusion of like the obscurities or like steals and stuff like that. Like a combination of that things, now it's not bias anymore. These are
but
well,
you
now
know
you
for
have your
sure.
own criteria. Yeah,
But let's
and
also be honest. Like as much bias as I am going to have as far as again just artwork and sets. I mean, a lot of people don't know, but behind the scenes, there's a lot of people that used to hit me up all the time for comp setting. People always have ask my opinion as far as the market, right? Like, oh,
yep,
what should I price this at? Shout out to Obi. He's one of them. He'd always
yep.
hit me up for advice, and and this is a guy that sells big cards. So if he respects my opinion, I'm obviously doing something right when it comes to understanding the Marvel market.
Yeah, and it's like as far as like the whole there's a lot of MCU cards. I didn't know there was so many of the MCU sales were always in like the highest sales before I started recording those with Shane. Because I just didn't follow that market.
Yeah.
But if you follow top 10, like a lot of the time, right now, I'm sure it's PMG heavy, Topps Chrome heavy.
Platinum.
But a lot of the time, it's MCU cards, autos. You have big, celebrity autos, and like just big MCU sets that cards are super rare and they go for a lot. So yeah, but shout out to everyone on that panel. It was an interesting episode. Make sure you check it out.
Thanks, man.
Definitely sent you a message privately saying thank God for retrospects on some of these points because I was losing my mind. So shout out to Retro. He was speaking for me on some of these things, but yeah, it was engaging, which I really enjoy. So,
yeah, man. I'm planning. I appreciate. I'm planning on having those cross my fingers. Hopefully once a month, and some will be recurring guests. And because last time, if you remember, I had the first episode I did recently was with Manu RMS and So Collectibles. So I kind
yeah,
of like
shout
to
out
get
to them.
different people's perspectives in the hobby. So I'm definitely going to have
Yep.
recurring guests, and then I'm going to have people that I switch around. Just to give everybody an opportunity to kind of like, come and discuss the state of the hobby.
The other thing, and like we said, like we have a video coming out with Nathan. So we talked yesterday. This is like our second part of the week.
Yeah.
Some of the steam I had really fizzled out. I'm more mellow today, but one thing I did remember I want to get across, yeah, like no one was dropping videos like that. And respect to all the creators out there, no one was touching that quality. We were trying to present something unique, and obviously it was all mostly Will doing like all the editing at a high standard. Things that I tried to learn, he tried to teach me. That guy's a wizard. It takes time. I'm not sure there's gonna be any more episodes for anyone waiting to see any more from the card drop. Shane's got his breaking thing going on. Will's busy, and me and Tim did like a penguin episode reaction review.
Yeah.
We might see some of that. I'm trying to get Tim to get his own channel going, so we can go talk there and bullshit DC. But yeah, man, that it took a lot of effort, took a lot of time. It was fun while it lasted, and if it does go back, we'll definitely let people know. But everyone's kind of busy doing their own thing right now, so it takes a lot. And Elusive, you've been part of groups like it's just
You have
bro,
to
it's a
defend.
lot of
There's so many
effort.
variables too.
Yeah, and life gets in the way sometimes. So
I mean, think about it. That's only for us. It's only a trio here, right? Me, you, and Sergio. And how many times is Sergio late? We're just trying to wait on Sergio. Definitely one person.
For real, dog.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's either lighting something up, he's putting out a
And
fire.
we've had our hiatuses and our pauses, and sometimes we gotta step away and we get burnt out or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, just like I'm proud of this, I'm proud of Car Drop. So
Yeah.
I don't mind criticism. Just let's just get it crystal clear on what's going on there, and if it's accurate or not. That's it.
But that makes sense.
And the other thing I want to get out before just like I felt no one's editing and no one was producing that type of quality.
Yeah.
No one's fucking with me in graphic design in this hobby. We put a lot of effort in how we present shit, and that was a big part of it. I take a lot of pride in what we did over there and what we're doing here.
Yeah.
That's my job, just bringing the visuals and bringing the aesthetics.
But let's be fair too. At least when it comes to NSDC, man, I've had a bunch of ideas. You're just we make a good team.
It's a collaboration.
Yeah,
through and through.
Like it's like I don't know how to explain it. What a good analogy for it would be, but like I know exactly what I'm visualizing, and you just put it on the canvas.
We figure out NSDC has its own thing. Cardrop had his own visual language, and just our personal pages.
Yeah.
But I just had to remind people. Yeah. Give me my props. Give us our props.
100%. Give me
I
think you do though. I think on that end, I mean, I've heard multiple times from Manu, who does this logo? Who does that logo?
It. Sometimes I just gotta say it out there, like I have people not giving me props just to energize me. Like really, I'm talking to myself, honestly. But just let them know, like, I respect what everyone does. People with big channels, people with small channels. No one was touching that shit.
Yeah.
Last it. And what we're doing here, it's all chemistry.
Yeah.
It's tough to come by too. So anyone wants to criticize us, they're more than open to. Just make sure it's accurate.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to adjust some things. Because we take pride in it, and it's a lot of hours that go by, and people don't see that side. So
I think that's what that's what makes a big difference, and why people take certain things personally is because on the Car Drop stuff you were talking about, like aesthetically and like the time it takes for editing. Well, this is more time of conversation wise. They're both time. It's just different. Yes. It's just different how the time is used. Yeah. Yeah. So for sure, like whenever you put your time and effort into something, and people don't appreciate it, it's hard for you not to take it personal because it's something you're personally doing. It's not like, and especially when your intent is in the right place, right? It's not like
you're trying to be a positive force in the hobby, or a positive more information out there. Even like I'm still proud of the foreign book 101 we did. Like, it's just things that people still reference it, right? And today, all that to say, please leave likes and positive comments for Elusive, because he took a lot of time taking pictures of these Batmobiles.
I did. I mean, me. Hey, me. There's a lot. You talk about the graphic design. There's a lot. For those that don't know, I have an iPhone 13. I'm 3 years behind. But you ain't touching my pictures. You ain't touching them. You guys do your best. You know what I mean? But you guys.
Hey, shout out to the homies who reach out and like, yo, how do you take your photos? Bro, it's just a lamp in the corner, and I got my iPhone, whatever. I think it's a 13 Pro, whatever it is. And again, same thing, bro. We're just cooking in the kitchen, dog. It's a lot of sauce over here. We can't duplicate the sauce. We can give you the recipe though.
Sergio, come on. Tell them about the recipe, Sergio. Come on. You're the chef. Let them know.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, it's been said before. I mean, hey, like, everybody does their own thing, but
we give this.
I mean, like, let's stay humble, guys. Let's get right into it, man.
You're right. But shout out to the homies that built the Car Drop and anyone who subscribed over there. People took time to watch it. A lot of those people which are now over here watching us, so we appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I will say that I think the community definitely saw that. We definitely appreciate when we did our live 100 subscriber giveaway. we gave away some nice shit, all of us. At least I felt like we did, you know.
Yeah.
And that was fun, and I can't wait to do another one. It is kind of like addictive to see people give away stuff. It's contagious, better yet, to want to give more and more. So hopefully, I'm sure once we get to 500, knock on wood, that Doom doesn't go on a hiatus, and Sergio shows up, then we're gravy.
Yeah, knock on wood that I'm in a positive place.
And health first, more than anything.
Health first. Hopefully, we're all mentally, in a good spot. You know what I mean?
And if you guys stick around long enough, you guys will hear Elusive, pass out a couple more times. Maybe he'll snort for you this time.
Yeah. And look, just being on a positive note, I saw some comments on there from some people I don't really interact with, and I like them. You know what I mean? Appreciate the comments. Just keep it peaceful. You know what I mean?
We come in peace.
We come in peace. Just don't bug me, and we're good.
I hope you guys enjoy this, guys. Here we go. But
first, Sergio had something, a recent pickup. For me, pickups this week, I don't have anything. I'm expecting some things next week. So next week I'll show some off, but Sergio has something nice here. What are we looking at?
All right, so we got a Dragon Ball Z #1. It's definitely not a 9.8, but it's still in pretty good condition, man, for what it is. So pretty happy to add that into the collection. It looks like pretty normal copy, but if you see up top that little logo, that's the Mexican version, so it's in Spanish. Obviously, it's gonna have a couple of first appearances in there. So I'm not much of a big spec. I honestly I think I don't know if I've said this here, but I hate comic spec. And I remember there was a point in time where people were specking on cards based on comic and movie spec, and I think that was silly too. But yeah, man. Listen, happy to add this into the collection, man. I got it at a pretty fair price. Me and Elusive mentioned it's not rare. It's not a rare copy of a book, but to find them in decent copies is really nice.
I've never even heard of this or thought about it, which seems silly now, right? Because it lines up with everything that you guys pick up, but that's pretty dope to see.
Yeah, it's hard, bro. Congrats.
No, man. Thank you, guys. That one's for the for the raza,
For sure.
Come on, dog. You already.
All right. Well, now let's start this Batmobile masterclass, if you will.
Yeah. So we're gonna open up with this 1/64 scale. Not a true 1/64 scale. This is a slightly bigger. I'd say it's closer to 1/50th, but it's in between that. This is by Hasbro. This came out in 1997, I believe, 1996. And again, if you want to look up what the Ertl version looks like, it's pretty much the same vehicle. The copyright on the bottom is different, and right on top of the canopy, you see the Batman logo, which I don't like on the diecast personally. I like, if you know me, I like more of an aesthetic, clean look. And again, this is what my cousin had. He actually, and I think I mentioned to you, Doom, and Sergio a while back, he actually did have the Ertl version, but since he used it so much in his backyard, it peeled off the logo from the top. So when I started using his, he would let me borrow it. It didn't have it anymore. So in my mind, it was this one.
This was the one. Before we go on, this was, and if I get something wrong, correct me. You said there was a 10-year hunt for this one of these, right? And yes, this was one of your first collections, you as a collector, and digging information and trying to understand a market and figuring it out. What was the root of the obsession? So was it that toy from your cousin that you remember?
Yes, 100%. It was pure nostalgia, and honestly, it's one of the first collections I started. I was, I think, 18 or 19 at the time, and I didn't have really no money. You know what I mean? I had just like a year and a half prior graduated high school. I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and this is why I gave that advice early on when I always did with Marvel cards. This is me literally having blue dots, just because, not because certain ones wouldn't come up, but because they weren't coming up under what I was willing to pay.
Yeah.
So I was being very smart with my money at the time, and I was like, "Oh no, that's too much." And I'm talking about, by the way, I'm talking about like a $5 difference, dog.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
someone were like $5
We're on
more,
a
and I'm like,
budget, though. We're on a
yeah,
tight budget, dog. Yeah.
100%. So this one was the first one I bought, and actually, by the way, I bought this loose copy from someone who his son owned it, and he put it up on eBay. I still remember I paid $6 shipped for this.
Wow. That's
So
dope.
that's the back side of it. You see, it's very basic. The backlights and the jet little propeller thing is just painted on.
Yeah.
The rims they're not gummy, they're not rubber, they're not real riders from Hot Wheels or anything like that.
Just
It's
plastic.
it's just a plastic toy. It's diecast, but the wheels are plastic. It's just meant to be played with. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and this gets quickly more interesting.
Yes. So this is it gets a little bit rare, and I'm going to show you 3 places you can find the same what we just showed. It comes in 3 different packages. This first one was from the Warner Brothers store. You see the Warner Brothers logo on the bottom right. On the bottom.
I have one of these. Yeah,
you
thanks
do.
to you.
Yeah, 100%. And I still need to send one to Sergio. So remind me, Sergio.
And it's still in the packaging. And the only reason it wasn't open is because Elusive gave me a very specific instruction: don't open it.
Correct.
I'm like, all right.
This looks better. This looks better displayed this way than open, because you see, again, it's a children's toy in this case.
Right.
So this one was in the Warner Brothers store. They would retail for $5, and just like the Dragon Ball Z comic that Sergio showed, they're not super rare. They're rare, but it's more condition rare. You could find these, but usually they're bent up. They have creases.
The card is usually damaged over the years.
And the blister, another tip, is on the bottom. At the bottom of the blister, if you look at the flat on the table on the surface, you have to make sure that the bubble's not lifting up.
Right, because it'll detach over the years.
And I do have one in my collection with the Warner Brothers price tag on it still.
Oh wow!
But
yeah,
I decided just to show this plain one.
Nice.
And then you would get it in another way. Coming up here, you're going to see it came in a multi-pack. This is, and I'm sure there was other retailers, but the one I knew of was JCPenney. You see those 289s on the top left. Now, just so you guys know the difference, one was a gloss version, one was matte. It came, as you see, with Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin set. So this one took a little bit longer than the first photo I showed to find, in this condition at least. And as you can see, it still has a couple creases. But this is super delicate. If you ever see this in person, it's a pretty good size. It's probably like a 12 by 18 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's just, I just like the way they would market things. And I mean, the logo, Batman movie logo with the theater reel, you know what I mean? What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, the theater reel.
The film strip up top.
Film strip, there you go.
Yeah.
And it was just clean. And then you got the logo from every single movie. Obviously, the Batman to Batman Returns doesn't change much other than the font and the color. But yeah. And then I show the back of it so you can see what it comes with. It breaks down what belonged to what set. And this is
these are all Kenner.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then the next one, this is the one that took me the 10 years to find. So this was an OnStar promotion, but really it was that's why it took me a while to find, not because also they didn't come up, but one of the blue dots I had, so I might have slipped once and I didn't know. I would always have on Batmobile OnStar as a blue dot, and I never had anything with GM Motors. And when I finally got this, I bought this on auction from a seller in Canada, and he told me, "Hey, I used to work for GM Motors, and this was given out to employees."
Oh,
so that's that was the piece of the puzzle I was missing. You can see on the top it says limited edition, but more than anything, the back of this box looks amazing. With the OnStar.
That's sick.
It's just a clean, man. I'm telling you, it looks so sick. So I was so happy when I was able to finally acquire this. And again, the car is the same car I showed at the beginning, but it's either the same thing. You would either get the matted version or the gloss version. So I'm not crazy
Right.
enough to try to chase both because I've never seen another one come up.
What? So there's
But,
both of these in these packaging.
yeah, same thing
Yep.
with the Hasbro from the Warner Brothers. I have
Yeah.
two. I have one that's gloss, one that's non-gloss as well.
Oh shit! So the hunt's not over.
Yeah, I mean, don't tell me that, but yes,
It's not over. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I still need one more. Yes, sir. Unfortunately,
Which
yeah.
one? Which one is this one again? So
That's
you
the
have
matte.
the matte. Ah,
Yeah.
that's fine because you prefer this one, right? You prefer it
Yeah.
over the glossy. Yeah. Okay.
In that case, yeah, you'll see.
But if anyone has a glossy, come on, hit up Elusive. He's been hunting this for years, dog.
Yeah, and it's yeah. This next one. Now we're moving up to again. That was nostalgia, the pure nostalgia on the first one. This is now I want to collect more movie accurate, right? Like more detail,
Right.
like just better quality overall. Yeah. And I got into Hot Wheels. This is the first one you could buy. It was out of 15,000 copies. It comes in an acrylic case, but it also comes with a rubber band because the canopy comes off. And a rubber band would be holding the canopy. I don't know why. And Hot Wheels has done this with a lot of models for a lot of years. I don't know why they've never.
They still do it with the RLCs.
It doesn't make sense, by the way, because if you leave it for too long, it damages the paint, man. Yeah. And sometimes, it could be as simple as you ship it during the summer when it's 90 or 100 degrees. That rubber band melts and it touches the paint and it's game over.
Yeah.
So
I do like how they specifically put for the adult collector.
Yep. Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah.
And that one's again just super nice. Then the second version of it is this. This one was out of 20,000 copies, and it came again. The packaging the Hot Wheels used to do in the early 2000s is not even close, man. This is 03.
Yeah, a lot of models. This wasn't just Batmobiles. Like a lot of their releases were in these. What do you call this packaging?
Oil cans.
Oil cans.
Yeah, they used to call them oil cans. And they had the three different Batmobiles. It was this one, the Batman Forever, and the Batman and Robin, which I have as well. But I specify on the 89. And there's two versions of this. There's the regular black one, and in a future couple slides I'll show you the differences between them, the ones that come in different packages. But there was also one. No, go back just to that one. Yeah, there's also one that also comes in an oil can, but it's out of 4,000 copies, and that one has a slight blue spots on the car, like certain panels of the car are blue. Other than that, in certain lighting, it looks purplish blue. But again, I have it in my collection. It's just not for me. It's nice just because it is more rare, but it doesn't match the movie. And again, for me, I just wanted to be movie accurate.
Right.
Now the next one, this one is one of my favorites. Just the presentation. It's hard to see in this photo. But what you can see because of the glare under the acrylic, it's the schematics for the 1989 Batmobile.
Yeah.
So it's the original blueprint. Dope. Yeah, that Anton First, which is the designer of this Batmobile. And again, in this one, if you see, they smarten up a little bit. The rubber bands are there, but they at least put something on the canopy. It's a little plastic piece, but again, it could still damage the paint by the sides and by the tire. But this one came in a pack with the armored Batmobile. If you remember when Batman would say shields up, the Batmobile would close off. So you can't fuck with it.
No.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, and then the final version, this is the rarest for, again, movie accurate. There's only one rare and you'll see it here. But this one was from Japan. And in Japan, they call it Chara wheels, but it's made by Bandai. And this one came out in 04 as well. They had actually plans, and I've told you guys this before, but they had plans to release a set for every one of those movies as well. Unfortunately, I don't know what went down, but they only released the one for Batman. But the quality of this set, I mean, look at this. It gives me vape vibes as well. Right, like the camo, the blue camo on the box.
Yeah, with the logo. That's pretty sick.
It's such a dope piece, man. So I have one of these sealed. This is my piece sealed. It's actually my photo.
Damn, I didn't know it was that rare. I opened mine.
No, I have one open. It's rare. Again, I would say if I had to guess, it's definitely above above or below the 4,000 mark as those blue oil can ones. It's just that a lot of people in the U.S. market don't know about these, but there's probably like 4 available right now on eBay.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Okay.
but again,
And that
it's only
the
No,
bat
go ahead.
signal on the left is a stand. It
For
has
the bat
a
one.
connecting piece for
Yeah, it's dope,
And
and
then
I'll show a picture of it coming up. But I love also that they included the Joker car, aka the Dodge Monaco, in the set,
that's hard. Yeah.
and that's the back of it. If you guys just want to look at the packaging.
Yeah, packaging is cool.
Mhm. And this is the one I had as well. I had 2 of these in my possession, which I let go last year. These were given away. This is their Dream Halloween. They do this with many Hot Wheels, but this one specifically was for the Children's Aid Foundation dinner. So it was a dinner where if you go, it was either $100 or $200 dinner to attend the event. And after the event, you would get a little goodies bag, and this was inside that goodies bag. So from what I hear, there's limited to 2,000 of these. Again, it's cool. It's just the colors aren't for me. You know, there's flames in the front. You see the logo on the back of the canopy. I had it for 10 plus years, and you know, I had 2 very nice copies. One that I had opened up, and the other one where the acrylic wasn't as scratched. Because that's the main thing with these. The acrylic is good quality, but it scratches over time. And I sold mine off. But yeah, it's definitely something I would mention just in case you're looking to be a completist. You definitely want this one in there. After that, this shout out to my girl, man. My girl gifted me my first set. Since then, I bought 10 of these. By the way, I'll be honest. This is one of my favorite tumblers. Yeah, man. This is in
These
shout
are
out to Toys R Us.
bro.
Come on, dog. When we first met, I told you about these ASAP. I think I sent you a set as well.
Yeah, these are sick. Like I know you can't tell, but they're like super detailed in hand for a Hot Wheel.
Yeah, and they feel heavy. They feel like a nice little weight to them, you know. So these were released in 2005, I believe, and these were released in Toys R Us. Believe it or not, dude, at one point these were in the clearance pile for $5 or $6.99 a set. And that's why your boy bought a lot of them. but years down the road, man, these are now reselling. I haven't checked comps lately, but the last time I checked, they're either going for like $60 to $90.
Damn, I did not know that. And I will say, like, if you try to buy a Hot Wheels tumbler nowadays, it comes in all kinds of colors and stuff, but they don't have the level of like detail. It's like it's more like instead of multiple parts, it all seems like one cast, and it seems very cheap. Feels very cheap. These don't.
Yeah, these are so awesome, man, for the size especially. There's only one Batmobile that I have from the tumbler in my collection that's way better. But to your point, it's not a Hot Wheel, and it's a high-end model.
Now let me quick. I know you're only showing like select ones. Or do you collect the older ones too, or like the old vintage Batman?
No. So I only collect 89 Batmobile, and I collect tumblers. Those are my main 2. I do have some of the Batman and Robin and some of the Batman Forever, but I don't do like 1966. I don't do anything else. I don't collect the ones from
There's not like a select. There's not a select few.
No.
And just to clear really quick, because you mentioned like on the Hot Wheels you're like 20,000 in the Hot Wheels world. Is 20,000 a lot?
No, 20,000. To put you in perspective, like a few years back before it got crazy with COVID.
It seemed like a lot a few years back, right?
Yeah, now, the RLC releases. Yeah, the RLC releases were like 10 to 20,000, depending on the release. Now they don't even number them.
They don't even number them.
And
the last ones I think were like 35.
Yep.
And now it's like maybe like over a year ago, and then they just stopped.
Yeah, I would say that the market is as liquid as Pokemon, if not more, to be honest with you.
And that's because you used to have in order to get an RLC, which is a Red Line Club, you had to have a membership. And I know when I started collecting, you could buy the memberships at $9.99, but there was a time where like you couldn't just buy any membership at all times, right? Like it was more limited than that in order to
well, more than anything, it was kind of like when you're trying to buy a sneaker drop. you would have to be the first one on the computer to buy a membership, because I knew people in the wholesale business and people at Frankincense that had multiple accounts.
So it was a limited membership
Yes,
numbers
correct.
given.
And the numbers were dictated based on what their largest RLC release was. So if the largest number was 20,000, then it was only 20,000 memberships.
Yeah, by the
So
time I started collecting, it was unlimited. Like you can go buy a membership right now.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm guessing they got so many people in, they just stopped numbering it,
yeah.
which
I
is
mean,
kind
the
of
hobby's
wild.
crazy. Yeah, it is. You
Yeah.
know, like everything, man. And this is a closer up image of it. And I wanted to show on the left how the top opens, the little mechanism there.
I didn't know it could open.
Yeah,
That's
that's crazy.
wild.
Yeah. Yeah, on
That's
both.
wild.
Obviously, I just showed it on the camo, but the black one is dope. You know, and I just wanted to me, you know, me again. I'm all about angles and certain things, and to me, the best angle for the tumbler is the rear wheels, the super swampers.
Yeah.
So
And that
yeah,
the engine in the back, that whatever you call that piece.
yeah, that shit's dope,
It's
dude.
super cool. No.
Yeah, so those are my favorite. And then we're gonna go to this. This is not a Hot Wheel, but it's definitely, as Doom knows as well, when you have this in hand. This was very limited by Hot Toys, and they, as
Mhm.
people know, they do 1/6 scale toys. But
Yeah.
they released this during either before or after promoting their first Batman figure, but it was definitely before the 1/6 Batmobile, I believe.
Mhm.
And these were snap kit little diorama models, and there was 5 of them, and every single one of the boxes you would also get a little extra piece that when you collected all 5, it would transform into a little Batman figure. I wasn't interested in those. You could look those up if you want. There's a, you know, you could Google Lens this image, but I was
Yeah.
only interested in the Batmobile. Luckily for me, someone had it at Frankincense. Boom, snatched it up. And
Yeah.
just look at the detail on them, and it looks
Yeah, bro.
anime-ish in a way. Look at the sharp
It
edges, like yeah,
the painting on it, the what do they call it, the deco? Yeah, it's like it it's crazy because this is 1/64 scale, right?
yeah,
Um it's really cool in hand. And I don't think like the wheels don't move on this one,
no,
right? Like this is just
it's meant to
a
be
mini
display.
sculpture.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
it's a
sick.
beautiful
It's
piece.
level of detail is sick. The painted like the dirt on the wheels and stuff. It's a sick weathered look to it. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And you could, the only thing you can do is take it out of its base. But
Yeah,
obviously, again,
it's
it's
not
just
stuck to it. Yeah.
yeah. But obviously, you want to display it together. And this next photo, you show you the back side of it again. But look at that.
Yeah.
And now, for those, if you
Yeah.
go, I told you this before, but to get even crazier,
Uh-huh.
this is already hard to find. One popped up a couple of weeks ago, and I told Doom about it, and he snatched it up.
Yeah.
But there's one version that I've never found, and it's been going on.
Really? So
I
there's
don't know how
another
many.
tumbler or what?
And there's this same version of Hot Toys, but they made the
Uh-huh.
camouflage one. It was a
Oh shit.
camouflage
I did
version, and
not know that.
yeah, I have
Damn.
a picture of it. I'll send you, but I've never seen it in hand ever, bro. And the packaging is different. It's
That's,
more of a yeah,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So hey, look, all I know is that me, you, and Sergio need to go to Japan. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's crazy. The time of where like I found an image of one. I know it exists.
Yeah, I know it exists for sure. And you know, it's
That's
kind of like when we were talking about when I showed you what Bandai was gonna do with the other sets, and you're like, well, someone
yeah.
has those prototypes. It's that kind of shit. I know someone has one,
Yeah. Someone
whether it's a
has
prototype
some kind
or
of
or a final version, but it exists for sure.
yeah.
Now, and this to
Or
put it all
yeah, there
together,
we go.
this is to show you the difference between every 1/6 scale. So the one on the far right was the first one I showed that it comes in an acrylic case by itself. It's 1 out of 15,000 copies. And also it's exactly the same as the oil can, which is 1 out of 20,000 copies. So if you're honest about the numbers, there's actually 35,000 of those on the far right.
Oh, okay.
Then on the one in the middle, that's the one that was coupled with the Shields Up or the armored version, the 2-pack we saw.
Yeah.
That one's out of I believe it's out of 15,000, and that's the difference between them. If you notice, is the middle where the engine is look at the difference right there. The one on the right has like gold accents. The one in the middle has like silver or pewter, and it's just they have like little specks of like I don't know how to explain it in the paint. They have like little speckles,
like metallic.
Yes,
yeah,
scrapings or something.
Yeah,
and then on the far left is the Char Wheels Bandai Japan release. Look at the detail. Even to me, it's the headlights is actually acrylic versus a sticker.
Right.
Like it's just the most movie accurate to me. It's the best looking one. But that I just wanted to show that group. And obviously the two missing in this photo is the one I showed already for the Children's Aid Foundation, the purple one, and the other one that's in the oil can that has a couple spots that are blue. But other than that, it's the same casting.
Yeah, that's crazy. The subtle differences.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of like
definitely coming.
It's the same as cards, right? It's kind of like it reminds me of the Impel, where the Toy Biz logo on it, without the Toy Biz logo, with the different copyrights. It's that kind of
no Sonic logo. Yeah, there's all kinds. That's sick. And this is how they look in the back.
Nice. And even look at the one in Japan. It looks like a little lighter in the back with the engine.
Yeah, it has like those little cylinders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, and also a big difference as well. Just to note, so on the Hot Wheels versions, the middle and the far right, both the canopy removes. Hence why, if you remember, they would put the rubber band. On the Bandai version, it's actually it's casted in there, so you don't have to worry about it falling out and losing it.
Nice. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, and so now we're moving up to the 1/50th scale. So the first one, there's an older packaging than this, but again, you could look that up yourself. The original one came out in 2008, I believe. This is a more modern one, but the casting is exactly the same. You have 3 versions of this car as well. You have this matted version, you have a gloss version, and you have a battle damage version. So this is the matted version. And if we go to the next slide, you're going to see the multi-pack. Yep. This one is super sought after as well, by the way. Even when it first released, people wanted this just for that 89 Batmobile, because look at where you can see like bullet damage.
Yeah, the bullet damage. Yep.
It just looks clean, man. Now, I will say, just as a reference point as well, like that 89 Batwing, it's cheaper and the same size as that Char Wheels. That's actually all plastic versus, you know, the Japan release one is all diecast.
Diecast, yep.
Yeah, and so it's a big difference. Yep. It is heavy, 100%. Yep. And then even the stand is way better. Look at that. The stand is flimsy on that one.
Down is mad flimsy.
So people buy that pack just because that's the only way to get the damaged 89 Batmobile in the 1/50th scale.
And Hot Wheels does that. They do a lot of that because they try to get you to buy multiple times, for sure.
And that's the back of it, just to show.
Yeah, that's sick.
And now this one, even though it says 143rd, and it is, I'm sure, and this is the same. To me, it's either the same casting that they use for the 1/50th, but just with superior details. This is like the Hot Wheels Elite version. And it's a super clean. It says from Batman Returns, but to me, it's just the regular Batman. But yeah, so that's what that packaging looks like. Now, this is super dope for if you're really into this 89, bro. This Hallmark keepsake. This is a Christmas ornament. As you can see, the little hook on top of the little loop.
I didn't notice that. Yeah.
And you could also see behind the canopy a little button that's pronounced that you could barely see. But that little button, when you click on it, it actually plays the 89 Batman theme song.
Nice. That's sick.
Crazy. I sent you a video. Yeah. I always be pressing that button, dog. That's all I gotta say. I opened my display. I need to get someone to do me a diorama to where I open my cabinet and that starts just automatically playing, dog.
Bro, you definitely dioramas.
Yep.
Like for the amount of cool shit you have. Yeah, that's the next part. Again, this is just sick. I thought it was like a Hallmark version, but yeah, it's an ornament. That's crazy.
Yeah, the detail's decent. But again,
how big is it? Like what scale?
It's slightly smaller than the 150. It's like a smidge smaller.
Okay.
But it's way bigger than a 164. So it's an in-betweener.
Yeah.
Now, this one is my favorite tumbler by far. This is Maze, the company. This is Japan, and this is it's like they say it's a high grade model for that reason. It's very delicate. It has a couple things that is super dope about it. One of them it has a working suspension. So on those front wheels, if you put like a coin or a poker chip on one of the wheels, the other wheel will still touch the ground because the suspension works on it. And then
nice.
it takes a little battery on the bottom, and the lights turn on, bro. So those little headlights by the
Oh,
window, yeah, yeah,
oh
yeah.
wow.
So just to put this in mind, this one I saved for so long to buy it. Again, it wasn't rare, but I just didn't have the cash to do it. And when I
Yeah,
finally bought it, I think I got mine for like 80 plus $10 shipping from Japan or $15 shipping. So I might have
yeah.
played close to $100. And the last couple comps that I saw, but I haven't looked them up in a while, were like 250, 350 is what they're doing
Damn.
now. Yeah. I wish, dude, and those were at times where I couldn't afford to buy trios, dog. I only have
Yeah,
one single
stack
copy of
up.
it.
Yeah, you can only get one.
No backups of this one.
And it comes with the little figure. That's dope.
Yeah, which my daughter
That's
fucked up, so I wasn't even worried about
oh no.
that. Yeah, and that's what it looks like outside the
Oh
packaging.
my god, look at the level of detail.
It
Man.
looks like the 1/6 scale from Hot Toys, dog. It looks like, if I didn't tell you, that looks like the amount of detail the bigger one has.
And this is what
1/43 scale.
but this is not diecast, right? This is
No, this is like hard
resin?
plastic. No, not resin. It's like
Okay.
a hard plastic.
Okay.
But those little fins on the back are so delicate, bro.
Yeah, they can break off. You gotta be
Oh,
careful.
yeah. You got if you sneeze,
But
you got to turn
this
around.
is definitely like doesn't move the wheels. This is like a fixed
Oh no, that
position.
rolls. That
Oh, that
rolls.
rolls?
Yeah, it has a working suspension. That's the one, bro. Like if you look, I'll be
That
honest.
looks sick as
Yeah.
fuck. Look at
Look at the
even
shocks.
the rim. You can see like the
Yeah.
little bolts. They even make it look like
Yeah.
it's
Look, I'll be honest. As we're going through this, if I could only, it depends on the scale you want, right? Like because collectors come in scales on the diecast world. There's some people that collect all scales, but I specify on 1/64, and I get 1/43 once in a while. But if I
yeah.
could only get one, it would be this one. I wouldn't get
Yeah.
the Hot Toys huge one because it takes too much space, even though that's dope as hell. And shout out to whoever has those. I'm sure
Yeah.
they're worth it. But this piece, it just checks all the boxes for me.
Yeah. It's sick, man.
Now, this is a comparison so you can see all three of the 150. It scales again. On the far left, the gloss. The middle is the semi-gloss with the battle damage. On the far right is the matte.
Yeah.
And the canopy slides open on those. So I forgot to take a photo of that, but that one, it does slide open. It doesn't fall open. It has like a little sliding thing where you could open it up.
Yeah, you can say it moves up. Yeah, there's a little slot there.
Yeah, you can't put any little figure in there, not even Lego size.
Mhm.
So it's more than anything just to, if you want to display with the canopy open, it looks cool. But yeah, you can't fit anything.
You need to find someone does custom on 3D printing so they can make a custom figure that fits there.
Yeah, that'd be
sick.
dope. Yeah, so that's the back of them, and you can see that just the
You know
gloss
what?
is
I haven't noticed until now. The back of this car looks like a Porsche.
Yeah,
certain angles. Yeah, and look, he took from a lot of things. If you notice, the canopy, that's from a jet fighter. That's from a fucking airplane, dude. Like the wings, obviously from a bat. Like the front, he said he took inspiration from a Chevy Corvette, and maybe the back was Porsche. I've never heard him mention that, and
It has a little
I
bit
can
of
see it.
reference to it. Kind of looks like it. That's sick.
Yeah. And that's the 1/43 scale. So this is the same size as those that you saw, but look at the detail difference.
Yeah.
And again,
It's clean. The matte
you could
finish.
that has little machine guns that pop up. I forgot to take a photo of those. I did it on the bigger scale, but the canopy slides open on this one as well. Those pieces on the left are metal, like all that is die cast. The only plastic piece on this, besides the canopy because it slides open, is that metal turbine. It slides out and it's plastic.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Look at the back.
You look at the rim with the Batman
Yeah,
logo
the
on
rim
it.
with the little bat logo. That's fun.
Yeah. Now, again,
Look at
if
the
you
headlights. Oh, that's sick.
yeah, again, if you want one and you don't want to go big like 1/18 scale, this is the perfect medium.
The brake lights.
1/43 scale Batmobile returns the Elite Hot Wheels Elite.
That's sick.
And now we get to the bigger ones. So as you can see on the top left there, this is 1/18.
Yeah.
So this is the original packaging from 2003, 2004. This one has had the most variants, and most of them with subtle to no differences. And then I'll point out the ones that have differences. But this one's just like the matte version.
Yeah.
Then you have this one. So this one, from what I know, was from San Diego Comic-Con 2003. And these ones were limited to around 1,500 copies. So as you know, again, speaking like Hot Wheels, this is crazy rare for Hot Wheels.
Yeah. And it's the glossy. Look how the lights like reflect off of it.
It was hard to take a photo of this. I ain't gonna lie to you. This one took me the most. And yeah, so.
But imagine having like a little setup where you have like a little street and like a little street lamp.
Oh, dude, yeah, just dioramas are the best for sure. Bro. I need to get into that next. Yeah, so on this one, I have one that I display on my display cabinet, and this one's still packaging. You can still see on that one, it's not a rubber band, so I never fucked with it. It's just a plastic strip going through the middle of the car.
Okay,
holding
that's
it.
good.
Yeah, so, and then it's protecting, and then the back, look at that, bro. Just the logo and the cylinder. Just, again, the quality of, like, the way they would display stuff. It's,
Yeah.
It's too clean, bro. Yeah, and then this one, I showed it to, in case, again, the people that want to be completionist, I never fucked with this one personally. This is the battle damage version, but they did a little too much for me. You know, they added a little purple. They added things that were not movie accurate. But as you can see, this one's limited to 10,000.
Yeah. He's got definitely gunshots.
And it's just like different color. It's just a little different.
Yeah.
You know?
Good. Brownish color. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Interesting.
Yeah, man. And they did another one that I didn't put a photo on it for you because, again, it was too many photos already. But the other one, there was a Hot Wheels Elite, and it was not movie accurate. It was a light gray, and I'm talking about like those light grays that those Chevy what are they called? Not Chevy. Those Dodge Chargers and Challengers have, where it's like a cartoony gray. I don't know how to break it down.
Okay.
And they had like the rims were literally gold. Like they fucked that one up bad.
Yeah. It's tough when you're taking a movie like a car and then modifying it, because if it's not in a scene, it just feels off.
Yeah, like they're taking too many liberties with it, you know?
And I do it with the Batman animated. Like there's a bunch of there's about maybe 8 to 10 Batman animated Hot Wheels 164, and most of the time they just change the color to gold, change it to purple. Like it's not.
Yeah.
You're just collecting it just to collect it.
Yeah, and so this is out of the packaging.
Sick.
So that's the first one that I showed. That's my favorite one. That's just the regular matted version. Again, the details on this one. This is 1/18 scale. So this is, I think it's like 10 or 11 inches on length, and it got good weight to it. The canopy opens up. On that one, you could fit a little, very small figure inside of there. It's just a dope one.
Yeah, I'm guessing like a 3 3/4.
Yeah,
figure
I think that
1/18 scale, right? This is 1/18, right?
Yeah, 1/18. I think I haven't tried the Lego that Jake Retroverse UK gifted me, but it might fit in there. It might.
Yeah, that would be far for sure.
And then
that's sick.
Yeah, the machine guns pop up.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The detail like on the turbine in the front, that's dope.
Yeah. And then on the next one, you see the canopy slides open again.
That's sick.
That's what I'm saying, dog. Like, you know, I mean, we don't want to get to this, but the animated it's a
different vibe.
It took that from it, the canopy opening like that.
Yeah, it's a different. Yeah, you know, I love the '89 one too. But
yeah, it's
I also, I mean, if we're gonna choose, if I'm doing top 3, it's quite easy for me. It's animated 89 and Tumblr. I think those
Yeah.
to me those represent my era of Batman pop culture.
100%.
And even like the latest one, doesn't do it for me. But whatever.
It's hard, man, because they're
It's tough.
redesigning a car every single time. But look at
Yeah.
this.
That's
Yeah. So there's one version that's better than this version, and it just has a little bit of, I guess you could say, like different. What's the word I'm looking for? Just little things that open. Like there's a Hot Wheels Elite version of this that back engine bay opens up, where you see those little shutters looking things.
Yeah.
That opens up, and then it has a little stand too where I don't know if you remember the scene in Batman where he's able to put it on like some kind of stand that turns around in 360 in case he needs to get out of like a tight area.
Yeah.
It has that as a stand. So that's the
Nice.
only difference. But those disappeared, by the way. Those opened up at 150 retail, and right away they were doing 2 to 250. And yeah, but to give you a comparison, I picked this up for $50. So I couldn't see myself spending 200 4X for just like 2 extra features.
Right.
But everything else is exact. When you display it, you're not even going to care about those features.
Yeah, it's so small that it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then this is the San Diego Comic-Con version. Yeah, the gloss version. Yeah, that one, bro, the chrome pieces stand out a lot on the sides. The turbine, as you can see, and then that gloss, it just pops right away, man.
It's so smooth, dog.
Yeah, it's super smooth, 100%. It's also, you got to be careful because you do get fingerprints on it, so you got to have the little microfiber cloth.
Yeah, fingerprint magnet, I'm sure.
Yeah. Even for the photos, I had to wipe it down every time. Yeah, but this is super dope. And that's a side-by-side comparison, so you can see the
gloss
versus
and the
gloss.
Yeah.
So again, the right is more movie accurate, but I don't mind the left one because they didn't take too many liberties with it. It's just a little gloss, nothing crazy.
Little gloss, yeah.
And that's the 1/18th tumbler. Now, the back side is the best side, as we were talking about, because the biggest letdown I have, this is the Hot Wheels Elite version. The biggest letdown for me is the front end. Now they made the front end too narrow. It's supposed to be a wider car, as you saw with the 1/43rd scale, and the wheels are oversized in the front. They need to be smaller. And you'll see this on the next slide.
But look at those shocks in the back, like that.
The back is 10 out of 10. Yeah, it's just the front where and I display that only in the back for that reason. Look and see the front.
Right.
They missed a little bit. You know what I mean? The canopy opens up as well. You can put a figure in there.
Really?
Yeah. But that's the only.
Oh, these are the bigger ones. These are the 1/18th.
1/18. Those tires that you see are gummy, dude. They're almost like they could be on a skateboard size.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the comparison.
That looks so hard.
God. So you got the 1/64 scale on the left that we both love that you have a copy of.
Yeah.
The 1/43rd scale from Japan, the high grade model, and then the 1/18.
So the one in the middle is the one that you said you recommend, right?
Yeah. Look at the ratio on the tires and the wider. It's more wider. It's more movie accurate. Not even close.
Yeah.
I don't blame the 1/64 because the 1/64, as you know, they maximize what they could do with that size.
Oh, the amount of detail on, especially just
for the size.
It's crazy, and that's the Hot Wheels one, right?
That's the Hot Wheels one. So
like just for Hot Wheels to do that type of detail, they don't do that on most releases now, and most of them where you do get that, they always have the Spectre Flame,
100%, and that's
super chromey finish to them.
And that's a good point you brought up, man. I've always said this, like any of the models that I showed from Hot Wheels, even especially the 1/64 that we were showing the 89 earlier, any of those would be RLC releases nowadays. It wouldn't be just a regular release.
Mm-mm.
So you got that, and then you're gonna get the backside, which I know you want to see. Look at that.
That's sick.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's dope.
It's so sick, man.
I mean, Tumblr might. I don't know, bro. The Tumblr keeps moving up in my list.
It's so sick. Look. Let's be honest. Look, for me, the nostalgia goes to 89, right? But
Yes.
if they were both in my garage and shit hit the fan, I'm taking the Tumbler.
Tumbler all
Because
day.
off-road. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll say the modern. Well, I guess not even modern. When was the movie? 2005.
2005. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
old.
Yeah. Well, I don't think so, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Not yet. Almost.
I was gonna say the modern Batman car to me is this still,
I think so.
and the old one would be, I guess, 89.
I mean, and that's for us because for some people it's the 66. Again, trust me, when I go to Fucking Sense, you know how many old heads I hear?
No,
and they're old heads to me. They start talking about the 66. I'm like, I don't want to hear it, dog. They're like,
I have a couple of those, but they didn't mean as much as the 89 Batman animated for me.
Now, and I could see why you would lean a little bit towards it because it is kind of like closer to the lowrider feel.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's an older car.
60s, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so this is a comparison for all the ones with the shields up. So the one on the far left, the all black one, jet black, that's from Chara Wheels, the Japan version. The one in the middle with the little speckles, that's from that dual pack that we talked about. Mm-hmm. And the one on the right came by itself solo. That's 1/50th scale. But that one's dope because not only is it weathered, but it opens and you could kind of see a little sneak peek into the Batmobile that's being protected inside.
It's sick. Yeah, that one's dope.
Yeah, they're hard, bro. Look at that.
You can see
it. And was there like, what did you use as like a reference to like the releases and stuff like that for you to find some of these pieces?
Oh yeah, man. So one of the websites that was huge for me, besides Yahoo Images, no Google by the way, Yahoo Images,
right.
Was Batmobilehistory.com, and we might get into it at the end, but we if not, people could just check it out. It's very basic, very GeoCities vibes, if you remember.
Yeah.
And then this comparison, you see the Chara Wheels, my favorite, on the 1/64 scale, the 1/43 scale Hot Wheels Elite, and then the 1/18 scale. Look at that. All of them are just fucking clean, dog.
Yeah,
all of them.
Those are sick.
Yeah, look at that.
In the back. That's crazy.
I'm telling you, this is the first thing. And then this is showing the Dodge Monaco that the Joker drive, Jack Nicholson, or his goons at least.
Yeah.
Bless you. This was a Johnny Lightning. This was a release from, I want to say 2014. But the only ever time this was released other than that was back in 2004 with the Chara Wheels 5-piece pack. And I'm about to show a comparison coming up so you guys can see the difference. See? So I would say that I don't know which one's more movie accurate as far as like the structure of the car because there's subtle differences if you look at them. Yeah. But paint-wise, I do think the left is more movie accurate.
Well, it has like bullet hole like decals, right?
Yeah, on the next one you're gonna see them. That looks dope, bro. Look at that.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, they got sprayed, dog. They barely made it. I'll tell you. But the detail on the Chara Wheels too. Like, look at the back. Look at the difference in the rear view window. You could just see it right away.
Yeah.
The rims. Look at the rims.
And
the headlights or the backlights. So again, Johnny Lightning did their thing on this one, but yeah. I'll give it up to Johnny Lightning for the paint scheme, but then the Chara Wheels for the quality.
Yeah, I wish they would mash these two up.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
A bit dope.
And that's what it looks like together out of the set. The box.
Sick, bro.
Yeah, dude. That again, and for those who don't know, what I love about just all the attention to detail they do over there at Chara Wheels Bandai is not only the Batmobile stand is sturdy. The Batwing is actually die-cast, but those little fins, those are rubber, so they're not gonna bend. I mean, they're not gonna break off. And inside is a little mini Batman you could see.
Really?
Like if you look, yeah, dog. Look closely at your stuff.
Damn, I've never looked closely at it, bro.
You know what I mean? I mean, some
you know me. I just open it up and then I stuck it on my little display with the cars. I've never really tried to like. Yeah, I need to go look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's the set. And then this is an honorable mention. And look, there's a lot of them. I kind of focused on Hot Wheels, if we're honest, for the most part. And these are two exceptions I did. I did the 143rd exception on the Mace Tumbler, and I made this exception as well. This is by Kyoto, Rebel Tech model.
Oh yeah. Yep.
This one I love the look of it. It reminded me of the Batman Returns version, which is a little bit darker tones, even to the rims and everything. It looks more OEM. But you're about to see a couple pictures. It just looks super clean.
And by like Rebel Tech, amazing at doing
figures,
like articulated action figures. Yeah. Like so. I didn't know they did cards, which
they do a couple here and there. Obviously, when 89 Batmobile, they got to do one, dog. They cannot. Well, look at that.
Yeah,
everything's black. You don't see. There's not a lot of color into it, which I dig. Again, this is like this is after midnight.
I love the window. It's like tinted. It looks sick.
Yeah, this is if you're gonna go to hit the hood. You know what I mean? Like
for sure. For sure.
Look at that, dude.
At the back too.
The tinted dark headlights in the back.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, and it still has. And this is for size comparison. It's not as big as the 118th, but it's bigger than 143rd. So I think this is around 100, like 132nd scale, roughly.
Yeah, man. And that's it. That's
it. That's all she wrote, man.
That's the whole. How you said 10 years, right? Or you still kept collecting after 10?
That's the latest one I bought, and that one I bought maybe like 5 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been altogether. Again, I started like around, I'd say 07, and I stopped whenever this was released, and I think that was 2019 release. So 12 years.
12 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I still need 1/6 scale, as you know. I didn't want to even mention those because you already know there's one that's as crazy as that 10-year little one. But for those that don't know, I mean, just stick to the Lego 1/6 scale and then the Hot Toys 1/6. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, for sure. That's clean. It's clean to see the whole. I mean, you showed it to me in the early days, but yeah, Elusive has a crazy diecast collection where it's not just Batmobiles. A lot of Porsches and I forget what other you have.
Oh yeah, Porsches, some Ferraris, a lot of American muscle, a lot of import tuners. But I will say, like this, the Batmobile collection is never going anywhere because that was my first love as far as collecting. But I have dwindled down the Porsche and the Ferrari Hot Wheels collection because a lot of those they went up too much in price where it didn't make sense. Kind of like what you were talking about. There's cars that I bought for RLC for $30-$40, reselling for $600. I can't justify.
That's cool. Yeah, if people aren't aware, like you just aren't aware of the prices. Yeah, it's a lot, bro. Like this is it's at collectible, probably way more collectible than any card market, probably
1,000%.
I
Worldwide.
was gonna say I don't want to make it sound like it's like a pump, you know what I mean?
No, it's not a pump.
No,
absolutely not. But if you needed one of them, hit me up. I might have a copy. The copies that I have is usually for the homies. I like to hook up the homies. I mean, like Doom said, I hooked up you. I've hooked up Manu. Shout out to Manu. I've hooked them up with the same that Hasbro one, and I still need to send Sergio's out. I still need to send Johnny's out as well.
Nice. And after this, Uncle Jake's gonna hit you like, "Yeah, where's mine?"
Jake, wait, I'll send you a Lego one. Don't even worry about it. I know you like. No, it's because I know he likes Legos. Dog.
Yeah, no, he's into Lego, and I still need to get my Batman animated Lego, which is out. I just haven't bought it.
They're dope to put. Look, I'll say this about the Lego because he had me having fun putting that PC semi together. They're super fun. I would say it's very close to drawing for me as far as like how therapeutic it is putting something together like that. Mm-hmm. But even when it's all put together, it doesn't compare to these models. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. It's a different thing.
It's a different thing
altogether. 100%. And then you got to find a place where like to display it. That's the biggest thing. Like Legos are fun, but I don't have space. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's websites where you can buy cases specifically for specific sets, and
that's another thing.
Maybe that's the move to do. Maybe that's it.
And I'll leave this little clue because I got locked out of this channel a long time ago. It's not my first rodeo with some of these YouTube things. I had a channel that was dedicated to Batmobile reviews early on when I first started collecting. I was like 19 or 20 years old. You'll be able to tell by my voice as well. But anyway, I got like some of those videos were getting like 30,000, 50,000, 80,000 views. But I forgot what happened, and I locked myself out of that Gmail, and I locked myself out of the channel. I never recovered it. I never hit a Google or anything. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to go on a little hunt, I did. You guys get to see my first display cabinet that I had. I was still living at my parents. I was 19 years old.
Nice.
And yeah, that's the reason I was segueing into that was to tell Doom about display cabinets. Like for the longest, I always thought I was going to go with an IKEA DTOF, which is what most people use for like 1/6 scale toys, just because they're relatively cheaper and people can buy multiples and you can like stack them side by side. But I ended up going with a different model that you guys always see in my videos. I have two little, I call them the Twin Towers behind me. And that's the cabinet I use. It's also from IKEA, by the way. Shits take you about 2 hours to put together, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. That's sick, bro. There it is. The complete guide to the Batman.
For sure, complete guide to Hot Wheels. The only ones I left out and that I mentioned because I didn't think they were movie accurate, but the only other one I left out was like the 1/64 cheap ones you could buy at Walmart for $1. Those are nothing like anything I showed. Like even the Hasbro one is still better.
They don't even look like the car.
Correct. They're like a squished version of it. It's weird. So yeah, I don't even mention that.
Yeah,
especially the tumblers. Like the tumblers that are made now is so offensive.
It is, yeah, 100%. Like if I was Christopher Nolan, I'd hit him up. Like, what are you doing? I'll get those off the shelf.
Yeah, that's it, man. So, thanks, bro. Thanks for showing the world. We've been asking for this for a very long time.
Yeah,
and hopefully we can get a couple of those 1,000 views.
Yeah, man. I hope we get the little Diecast collector crossover. Yeah. And then tomorrow I got a little surprise. Somebody didn't add to the collection in the video.
Nice.
But, a small little piece from Japan. Nothing crazy. But
I like
that. Yeah, I think you guys will enjoy it. I'll definitely put that as my post tomorrow.
Nice.
Can
we get a sneak peek? Like
you gotta wait on this one. It's a project.
No. Oh, the project. Wow.
No, this is crazy. I might be even overhyping it. It's something that's dope. It's because 1989 Batmobile, man, it has a lot of companies have taken that IP, if you will, and like used it on a lot of their products. I'll give you an example. You guys know that, like, I think it's like a crystal company. It's like SW something. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
That company has a Batmobile 89.
Yeah, it's iconic pop culture.
Yeah, it is. And there's another company that made a whole pewter, diecast pewter of the Batmobile 89 as well, and it's expensive, but it's small. So there's other things that you could, like, again, that's the fun thing about the 89 Batmobile. Like, you could really go in, and it's very similar to being a character collector, where there's a lot you could do with that. Like, it really goes down to how far you want to go with it. Like, to me, like always, I chose what I thought were the best pieces, but I sure didn't get all of them. And that's okay for me, but for the people that are completionists, you could have a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm sure it never ends. They gotta be, and then you're gonna find bootleg versions of them.
Yep.
Just like custom made ones. Nowadays with like 3D printing, like so many modifications you can see out there. So
100%.
That's dope. And let's keep it, I know Sergio sent me some links, keeping it Batman oriented. 85 years of Batman this year.
Shout out to Johnny on this one.
A lot of cool releases. Yeah, shout out to Johnny. Iron Studios doing one of these OG Batmans.
Hey, by the way, Iron Studios did a Batmobile as well, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, they did a 1/10 scale. It's crazy. It's super crazy as
Oh,
well.
well, this is I think this is a 1/10 scale statue. That's sick. Love that with the purple gloves.
I will
For
say the
sure.
ears give me where the wild things are vibes. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But it's dope. It's a
But
dope
this
figure.
is the Detective Comics number 27.
Mm,
Yeah,
nice one.
that's sick. Yeah, they have a lot of cool statues. I mean, that I don't have statues, but I always look at the Iron Studio ones. Uh, it's bro, there's too much dope shit out there to collect.
Yeah.
Not enough
I think it's just
space.
dope to see. Yeah, but it's a space issue, man. You know.
Yeah,
Yes.
you
Space
gotta
issue,
commit to
dust
it. If you,
issue.
yeah,
I heard from a lot of people that collect statues. Even shout out to Collection Kings Arthur. He
yeah,
had a couple of stick statues he showed us back in the day, and
yeah.
he
They're
said
crazy.
sometimes they arrive broken.
Yeah, and like if you ever want to move them, it's just a hassle.
Yeah.
But there's definitely out there. I mean, there's a Batman statue collector. I believe that's his name on YouTube. Huge YouTube, where he's all DC statues. It's a big, yeah. If you ever want to look at some interesting collections, definitely go YouTube that for
Yeah.
sure. Also, we I didn't know. I think it was either a week ago. They had Netflix began Geeked Week, and they previewed two upcoming series uh, based on video games. We got Devil May Cry and a Splinter Cell. Uh,
Mm.
Sergio, what you
Doom,
interested in looking at this?
Doom might be too young for Splinter Cell. I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
No,
Uh,
I remember Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played.
No.
Yeah,
Well, my initial thought I was like, oh man, they're making everything animated. But honestly, like some of these animation teams are doing a good job, especially in the Japanese world.
yeah, it looks
Devil,
sick.
Devil May Cry. I don't know if you guys remember or ever
Yeah,
played
Devil May
Devil.
Cry was fun. Yep.
Should be pretty interesting to see. And honestly, I'm surprised, and I might actually even be wrong, but I'm surprised that they haven't seen a Devil May Cry anime out because it just seems like it's such like a big IP. But they might be doing it for the American market. But
Yeah.
Splinter Cell, some espionage stuff. That's obviously something a little different because usually animes it's like big battles and
Yeah, this seems
powering
like
up.
more American type of storytelling, no?
Yeah, yeah. So
Espionage.
this it's just a different style. Again, I'm just throwing it out there just for the people that do have some nostalgia to this stuff. And I know Uncle Jake. I got him watching certain animes. So
No, and
yeah.
shout out to Tim. He watched Terminator Zero, and he really enjoyed it. So I know
What was it
people
called?
enjoyed
Sorry.
those. Terminator Zero, the one we talked
Oh,
about a while back.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Nice.
the
The
anime.
anime?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we did talk about that a while back. Yeah, Sergio put us on that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then
Then we got this
they
dog.
we finally got some scenes of this, which is and we've talked about this before the
Batman
Batman
Ninja
Ninja.
sequel.
And look at that. I mean, like the animation style. It's using that modern, Japanese into that. So shout out to WB on that. That definitely looks like a modern,
Yeah,
anime.
Yeah, this
And
looks cool.
excited for that. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
already the current one, which is was it a Harley Quinn one we talked about a couple of months ago. It's
Yeah.
out there.
Gotham? No, Cape
Yeah.
Crusader?
No,
No,
it was
no, I
like
believe it.
Ikigai or something like that.
Yeah. Hmm.
Ikigai.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
You know what I can't wait for, speaking of Batman and just animated stuff, is, bro, if, we always give flowers to the Into the Spider-Verse movies because of the animation, right? Imagine
Hmm.
that style for Batman Beyond.
Bro, they need to, yes. Yeah. Do something with Batman Beyond.
Do something, yeah.
Like, like,
And I think a modern movie, obviously, like they just had Keaton on with like the Flash, right? a modern movie of just having him as an old man, like how much more perfect could it be? You can go right into like the Batman Beyond and just have him retire,
That's what I always enjoyed about Batman Beyond is when I saw it, because my brother was more into it, because I remember the Batman animated series was the one, and then that came shortly after. But what I enjoyed about it was they have an explanation on why, right? Like you said, Bruce Wayne grew older. His body. He's like what's it called? He's like Julio Cesar Chavez or Floyd Mayweather, right? They got all the wisdom and they got all the technique down, but the body won't respond the same no more. So someone new has to take over, and I just love that passing of the torch, and it was just dope. It was very similar. Again, going back to the Christopher Nolan films, when Robin finds out that he inherited the fucking Batcave, right?
Yeah.
When Joseph Gordon-Levitt, when he shows up and he goes, "Oh, I get all this."
Yeah, the waterfall and then like the car pops over.
That's
sick intro. Yeah. Speaking of Batman Beyond, Rebel Tech, the amazing Yamaguchi, they announced their figure, and this is like again, I believe this is from a modern Batman Beyond version that is from the comics. But the articulation on this, like that's sick.
And the posability, like all the poses you can do with the figure.
Yeah, articulation is crazy. So yeah, man, Batman Beyond. They should do something with them.
They can revive that,
Yeah, they could definitely revive it. Also, Sergio sent me this, and I'm mad because I missed it. I didn't even catch this. TMNT. So this is the filmmakers behind Turtle Power, which is a documentary, right? They're basically redoing it now, and they're gonna add a bunch of stuff on Kickstarter. Interesting. They got Pixel Dan, which is a huge like action figure reviewer, especially like TMNT figures. So they have a Kickstarter running. You get some footage of Eastman and Laird, and there's I'll leave this in the description. But anyone like me, I'm gonna have to get this early access rough cut screener, like a documentary with some perks. If you sign up, you got an art book. Oof,
that's what I enjoy about Kickstarters, bro. That like they kind of like bless you in return for like helping out, because they always give you things that's like that are never going to be available to the public after the fact.
And then they got, if they hit certain stretch goals, they add stuff in there. This is cool. I need to check this out myself. A lot of cool TMNT and Batman stuff being anniversary years for both.
Yeah.
So that's cool to see. Yeah, bro. That's pretty much it this week.
Yeah, man. We're already an hour and a half in, guys. Any shout outs?
Yeah, man. Just like yesterday, we're gonna make Sergio go first because he was tardy. So Sergio, go ahead.
Gotta go first.
Yeah, dog.
But no, this is actually.
Sergio's the guy who shows up late to school and he didn't do his homework. Wow. And this
he's always caught off guard, bro. He know we're gonna go to.
But I test well. You know what I mean? I test that well.
Do you?
100%. No, I would say for sure, man. Listen, I finally got to posting, Johnny Bravo's sketches. Big shout out to him.
Big shout out to Johnny.
And again, it's something. It feels the same, but it feels different because it's you're getting something that is on a card, but what it's worth is just his time. His time and his effort. So big shout out to him.
Shout out to Johnny. I would have known Johnny. I haven't got any sketches, but
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You gotta wait your turn.
I've been waiting, patiently waiting.
Oh man, anti shout out. Anti shout out. Let me see.
Shout out
have
to
an
Variant Section for
have a
creating the anti shout out forever.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't have
You ain't got one.
I wish I could be. I wish I could be more negative, but this week let's let's share some love and
growth.
Get it going.
I like it. Yeah.
No, for sure, especially from Sergio. Like he hasn't done an anti shout out in I don't know how many episodes.
It's funny because before we click record, he's got a whole list of anti shout outs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he fills us in.
But that's on the fly. He's just not really processing. They just come
that's
out.
That's a speed round for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, but
we all had a few anti shout outs before the show started.
Plenty to go around. For sure. Here we go. I'll go next. Shout out to Andrew. Andrew gifted me a Batman book, Sienkiewicz. I think it was last week or week before. So shout out to Andrew. Yeah, man. Just shout out to all the homies that tag us when the episodes come out. It's cool. It's cool to see our little community growing. And shout out to all the winners from the live stream. I still have Nico, you know what I mean? And
some Canadian
Dre. Yeah, I got the 2 Canadian packages going out by Monday. You know what I mean? Everything else I think has been shipped. Shout out to Lewis who sent off the gift, and shout out to Nathan who also gifted something. Shout out to Nico.
That was a shout out to Nate. Yeah. Shout out to I think Brittany won Nate's giveaway.
Yep.
And Rohan received mine, but Rohan Alonso's is on the way as well.
Yep.
So shout out to y'all who didn't have to do anything as far as giveaways, but you guys, thanks for supporting us. Shout out to everybody, like Doom said, that supports us, that repost our stories and shares the links to our podcast. And shout out to James for the anti shout outs. And
shout out to Vic too. Shout out to Vic and James, back and forth in the chat.
Oh, it got crazy.
Bro.
You don't play with Vic, dog. Vic played him straight for the throat.
They always have entertaining things to be on, like, oh, okay. All right.
But I love how James just shakes it off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It takes 2 to tango, but James pokes him just enough, and then as soon as the bear reacts, he's like, hey, we're cool. Don't even worry about it. No forest fires.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Vic, man. I was telling you, you were we were talking privately about the state of the hobby lineup, and you were telling me that that you enjoyed the lineup, and I was like, yeah, man, but I still miss the homie Vic there. I know he's he's a big timer in the Twitter or the X spaces and all that stuff.
Yeah, man.
But I need to have him on. Again, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna do one of those episodes per month, and I have to have Vic on the next one. You know what I mean?
You and Vic just gonna have to solo it out. You know what I mean?
I mean, no. Well, there's people that are willing to be on camera with Vic. But,
I'm sure there's people willing to. I'm just make sure you run it through Vic, though. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I also, you know how that goes. I have to catch Vic when he's having.
You gotta set the vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know me, how I test them out. I'll say certain shit.
You have a very unique way of testing it out. I don't know if it's the most productive way, but it's your way.
It works. It for sure works. I'll tell you that. Hey, 60% of the time, it works every time.
Also, before I forget, shout out to Raj. Raj opened some cards. He hit some Ghost Riders. He wanted to gift me. So shout out to Raj.
Yeah, and Raj,
I appreciate it.
Sergio, remind him of your package. You know what I'm saying?
I actually, I reached out to him. I reached out to him and let him know.
Nice. Good.
Yeah. No, we did warn them beforehand, right? We did say hit up Sergio.
Watch him out.
Yeah, Sergio, don't make us look.
Well, I stand corrected though, because you haven't shipped it. You know what I mean? So.
But I've seen it work. It's looking hella nice.
It's a project, as you would say. Definitely a project.
Definitely a project.
It's not on eBay, so it takes a little bit to, a little bit of process.
Crafting it. Yeah, he's crafting it. But yeah, man. Hopefully. Yeah, dog.
We made it this far in the episode, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's send it on the light now.
Yeah, shout out to us, dog. Let's keep it going. All right?
Yeah, cheers, guys, for sure.
Let's keep it going, bro. And if anyone out there has any anti shout outs,
leave them in the comments. How about that?
yeah. I don't know if I want, well, because then you're gonna get Sergio involved in the comments. You know how that went last time. Maybe your shout outs, anti shout outs, just send them to Elusive.
Oh wow, yeah, send them to me. And hey, but if you do send me an anti shout out, dog, don't send it to me from your burner account. It's gonna get unread. If I don't recognize the account and I say, well, not recognize, but if I recognize that it's a burner with 3 followers and no posts, nah, dog, I ain't doing all that.
Yeah. Also, watch the Penguin. Dope.
Okay.
It's dope. And if you want to join me after me and Tim, we'll do it sometime a couple of days after. But I'm telling you, as anyone listening, as a friend, I would tell you, go watch it. Jake, Uncle Jake, figure out. I don't know where it's on the UK. I know you say you couldn't find it on your TV. Figure it out, dog. Google. You gotta make it work. You gotta watch it. Great first episode. Hopefully the second one doesn't disappoint. I think it comes out Sunday over here, so looking forward to it.
I do remember my only anti shout out. You know what I mean? Thanks, Sergio.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anti shout out retrospects, dog. Like, you don't need to be showing out that Trunks too many times in that episode. I don't appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Trunks, Trunks is hard.
Yeah,
you know
send that my way and stop playing with me. You know what I mean? Again, I'm gonna start calling you 90 for 90. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dog. Help the little guys out. You know, we're over here putting in effort. You know what I mean? Maybe the next masterclass is gonna be on some card-ass prisms. You know what I mean? But I would need that for quality control purposes. So just slide that my way.
Yeah, retrospects. Join the pod. Bring out the card ass. Let's have a card ass show off. Yeah, let's educate the people. You talking about people educating, being transparent? Let's go.
Yeah, 100%.
Come on, dog.
But first, send me that Trunks. I'm gonna need that because you got a lot. You know?
No, that's great. Shout out to him.
Sergio, you want to say something else?
No, man. Yeah, let's end it on a light note, man. You know.
All right, you ended on a light note. Give the people something positive. Go ahead. Words of wisdom, Sergio.
Quote of the day.
It's all
Quote
you.
of the day, Sergio. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, words of wisdom this week. You know, just stick to you. You know what I mean? Just do what you do best. You know, and you know, sometimes it's good to put the blinders on and just hang out. You know, on your own and just chill. You know.
100%.
I'm on. Unfortunately, like, you know, again, I love all of you, but, you know, I've been busy doing other stuff, and you know, you guys will obviously see at some point just having fun with other stuff, and you know, Elusive has too, which I want to see. I want to see some of the stuff Elusive has to pull out, but, you know, we're waiting on him. Maybe we'll have like a show and tell at some other point, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been sketching with my daughter. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, you know.
I will say, I mean, yeah,
we're gonna throw the wig on. We'll do the Bob Ross episode. You know?
Yeah, that'd be dope.
I mean, hopefully, I get picked up by Tops or Fanatics. You know what I mean? We've seen worse artists. Let's be honest. You know what I mean?
Oh man, look,
ended there.
It's getting competitive, y'all.
Yeah, turn it up. You know.
It's getting competitive out there. Ain't that easy, you know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of talent out there now.
No, for sure. Yeah, I just do it. I just do it for fun, you know. But you know, we got a little skill. Nothing crazy.
No, for sure.
And doing through modest, but he has like the charcoal skill, you know.
He does.
What's your mouth?
I'm rusty. I need to get to it for sure. I gotta create a plan and stick to it. You know, you guys are being very productive with that. I'm slacking, so yeah.
Yeah, it helps for me. It helps me with my daughter because she's the one asking me. You know, and she's like, can we draw today? Can we color today? I'm like, I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
You know, so let's do it. So
it's therapeutic for sure. It is cool. Listen to some music, vibe out, boom.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Sergio, you do some other stuff. You know what I mean? What? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, listen. I'll be honest. The show that we did with Nate, you know, I was like, while I was on there, like obviously listening to you guys, like, you know, talking, chatted up. You know, I was kind of working on that thing. You know, Faraj. I mean, listen. To be fair, like, listen, I, you know, we gave something away again. Like, you know, not only are we giving up time for the podcast, we're also giving up, you know, again, time with our friends, families, all that good stuff, man. So, you know, when things take time like that, you know.
And I will say, for those that don't know, man, Sergio's a habitual multitasker. This guy, well, he'll be on
probably
YouTube.
here in the episode.
Yeah, he'll be at the liquor store getting some fucking Arizona green teas. He'll be getting some food, getting a coffee, Cuban coffee. He'll be doing anything but sitting down. What he's supposed to be doing, you know, which is crazy.
Well, define supposed to be doing, you know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, remember, he knows his rights, dog.
He sure does. He sure does. Don't be taking my word all too much, dog. You know what I mean? I got a copyright. That's too many. We got one per episode. That's about it. Watch them out.
We didn't cut out before it gets conspiracy time.
No, for sure. Thanks again for joining, guys. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.